Hi! I'm here doing another one of these things. I have still no idea how to start these videos, so what say we just cue some A's? Wait, no. A some Q's. It doesn't really sound good either way I say it, so we're just gonna start. Oh, but before we do, two quick reminders. I'm going to be at QCon in Belfast from the 30th of August to the 1st of September. I'm going to be a guest there. I have a panel on this Saturday. It's really small little con, but it's also really cool. It's like a really nice atmosphere and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm also going to be guesting at Konaichi in Kassel, Germany from the 6th to the 9th of September. I really love doing cons. I really hope I see some of you guys there, mostly just because I like meeting fans, but also so the cons don't regret having me as a guest, so please come to my panels. That would be great. Okay, let's answer some questions. Anon asks, have you ever tried to censor your accent? No, I haven't, and I don't know why I would. I do have quite a mild accent by the standard of a lot of Irish people. Other Irish people think I sound American, especially down in the country and stuff. But I think the things that make you unique on YouTube, those are the things you should play into as opposed to try and suppress. And I definitely think my accent is probably a big part of kind of why I've had the success I've had on YouTube. So no, not at all. Anon asks, dumb question, if you were a wrestler, would you prefer to be a face or a heel? That's not dumb at all, Anon. I would love to be a heel. It is my dream to stand in a wrestling ring and have an audience and have a full audience of people boo the shit out of me. I actually got a really similar question to this at Anime Expo last year, and so I'm just gonna play that clip here.
Called OTT, Over the Top Wrestling. Very extreme, very over 18s, very rowdy crowd. And so I was thinking, what could I do to piss them off more than anything? And so I came up with a character called the Cyclist. And so my gimmick would be I'd have a full cycling attire and a helmet, and I'd carry my bicycle to the ring kind of jogging like this. But when I get to the ring, I have 8 locks from my bicycle. And it takes ages for the match to start. And then before I start the match, I'm like, if I could just have a minute of your time. Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Sound Q8 asks, what good advice would you give to upcoming YouTubers for finding success and a healthy audience? I would really emphasize that you try and make videos that you enjoy making over things that you think people will watch. Some of my most successful videos ever is shit that I didn't think anyone would watch. My most successful video last year in terms of views was the Grappler Baki video. It's a video about fucking Grappler Baki and it has 2 million views, and how does that make any sense at all? I don't know if anyone could have predicted that video would blow up like that, but it did. And really since that, I'm just fuck the algorithm, fuck trying to predict what's going to be popular, just do what you feel and go for it and have a great time doing it. I think if you do that, people are going to sense your passion and people are going to come to you for you as opposed to the subjects you're talking about. And that to me is the best possible result when building an audience, because they're gonna love you as opposed to this particular subject. So yeah, that'd be my advice. Best of luck with it, buddy. Hope you have success. Can you show us your anime manga related collection? Sure. So this is where I work. This is where I spend way too much time. I got these 2 guys in Japan and I really like them. Just looking at this now, this one kind of looks like me, and I think maybe that's why I like him. And I think this little guy here, I think I just feel like I think I just feel like a spiritual connection to his latent fury. We got a bunch of art and stuff on the walls. One of my favorite things to do at Artist Alleys, this one's actually a present from my buddy Brobex. I'll put our Twitter on screen. One of my favorite things to do is pick up art from just vendors and stuff at cons. It's always I love looking at Artist Alley and seeing all the cool weird stuff. This one was from an art show in LA, which I really like. So right here we got this old beat up poster of Akira, and if you see it's actually not in great shape, and that's because I think I've had this poster for maybe 18 or 19 years. It was on my bedroom when I was a teenager and I still have it and I love the shit out of it, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it unless it gets destroyed. Down Down here we can see some of my figures. This is kind of my Dragon Ball Z kind of shonen-y shelf there. We got some Frieza, we of course have Vegeta. We got some Hisoka, some Broly, some Stone Mask. We got some creepy ass dolls on this shelf. And then up here we have the JoJo universe. Of course you got Kira, of course. Got some Jolene, best JoJo. Got some Dio, some Jotaro, all the guys. There's still a few I'd really like to get. I'd love to get a Stone Free Super Action statue, which has eluded me, but I will hopefully one day get it. And you might be asking at this point, okay, Eyepatch Wolf, where's the waifus? Where's the cuties? And the truth is, I think like, if you're a grown-ass person and you have like a plastic shelf full of like little anime girls, I think that's kind of pathetic and you need to grow up. So here's my waifu shelf. We got all the girls here. We got, I think it's Mohime from that Vanillaware game that's name's currently escaping me. Got Tsunade, Panty and Stocking. Got a homemade Yume Nikki thing there. I always loved that. Chiaki from Danganronpa. We got more waifus down here because I am complete garbage. Below this, we also have my bad boy shelf. This is like a bunch of my favorite like villains and stuff. Although, you know, Hody Jones, maybe not one of my favorites, but I just think that's an awesome looking figure. Rob Lucci, got Hiei. I goddamn love this figure. I paid way too much for it, but I mean, he's the number 2 best Vegeta in the world, besides Vegeta himself, so I couldn't resist. Also got this I Draw Nintendo poster, End of Evangelion poster. I fucking love this poster so much. It's like, that is iconic. What are some challenges you face today as a YouTuber? Oh man, I would say the biggest challenge for me is I just want to get better at making videos. Like, it's not that I'm not happy with my current videos. Most of them I think are okay. Like, most of them I think are fine. But I want to get better, and I think there's a lot of different areas I could be getting better in. Like, a big one I think right now that I'm kind of concerned about is like just generally my like narration. I know that like a lot of people like my narration, but I also think I have this really bad habit of like over-inflecting and making everything seem like this big fucking thing, and I don't think it needs to be that at all. I think I'd much rather it just comes out a little more naturally and like retain the kind of emotion of it. But yeah, because I think that's something that really makes me sound like a pretentious asshole in my videos, and that's really not what I'm going for. Like, if you listen to the Let's Fight a Boss podcast, you know I am not that smart, and so if that's how I'm coming across in videos, like I'm trying to be super intelligent, that's a fuck up on my part. There's 100 other things I want to fix about my videos, but that'd be a big one right now. So yeah, I want to get better. I want to do different kinds of videos. I want to keep like surprising people with the kinds of videos I make. And yeah. What martial arts have you learned? Okay, so I did Taekwondo for 10 years and I got a black belt in that. And then the guy who taught me Taekwondo also taught me some boxing. And then last year I took up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I just love the hell out of it, yeah. I'm not like a violent person. Like, I don't like to see violence at all, like especially like out in the street or something like that. Like, that'll really bum me out. But in terms of like consensual fighting, I love that shit. Like, I love sparring, I love rolling, I love all that stuff, and it feels so great to be doing it again. Grotto asked, what do your streaming plans look like? I think myself and most people would love to see you give it another crack. Okay, yeah, I got this question a lot. Basically, for the first part of this year, I was streaming weekly every Friday, and I really enjoyed doing it. It was really cool. I think, like, the stream we did of Devotion was one of the best experiences I've ever had playing games, because it was a fucking awesome game, the audience was super into it, and it was just really fun. That said, it kind of got to the point where I was like trying to balance video stuff and podcast stuff and, you know, stuff in my personal life and exercise and all this kind of thing, and it just got to be a bit much. So I had to make, like, something had to give, and unfortunately it had to be the streams. Now, that said, I think I really do want to do them again, and so we will be coming back to them at some point, but when we do, I don't think they'll be weekly or even scheduled. I think it's just something I'm going to do every once in a while. So yeah, and, you know, thanks to everyone who showed up. Twitch.com/Super Eyepatch Wolf. If that's wrong, I'll put the right address up on screen now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but no, unfortunately, I probably won't be doing them as regularly as I once did. Anon asked, I'm in the middle of writing a book and I feel good about what I write in the moment, but it's unimaginably horrible when I think about it the next day. Do you have any morale tips for long-term writing and any book recommendations? Okay, writing. This topic is tricky because writing is so difficult, but specifically what I think you're encountering is kind of first draft problems, it sounds like. And I have this with literally every video I've ever made. I think the time this video is going up, I've done 75 videos. The first draft for the vast majority of them has been absolute garbage. Because like with the first draft, you don't really know what you're doing and what you're trying to say. And so it's gonna be bad. Like it's going to be you figuring things out. But like, here's the good thing. If you just accept that that's the case and that your first draft is just a test run, then you can not beat yourself up for it being bad and just try again. So for me, I literally just got back from a cafe where I did the first draft of the next video I'm working on. I know it's bad. Like I know it's bad immediately, but it's okay because now I have something and I can go and fix that. There's this story, I hope I haven't told this story on a question and answers video before. There's this story I really like from, I think it was a Russian ballet choreographer. And he's sitting there on the first day of production of his like new ballet routine and he has his head in his hands and he just can't think of a single thing to do. And so his producer comes over and he's like, hey buddy, what's the story there? And the guy just looks at him and says, any idea I have is terrible. I have no idea what to do. And the producer says to him, well, do something and then we can change it. And that's what a first draft should be. Just write something, let it be bad, and even if the whole thing's completely unusable, then at least you have this thing you can change, but also like you know these ideas don't work, so now you can get them out of the way and start getting to the actual good ideas. And if you just keep refining and refining and refining, you'll eventually end up with something that like you're at least happy enough to put forward. So yeah, writing's hard. It's more about rewriting than it is writing. Best of luck with it, buddy. You are cringe. Fair, but I would much rather put myself out there and people think I'm cringe than leave aggressive anonymous questions on Curious Cat. Anon asks, there's a YouTuber who often gets called the female version of you called Islamic Tier. Have you two ever met? No, I have never met Isla, and I'd really like to because like I've seen some of her videos and like her stuff's great, like she's super talented. What I would say is that if people could not call her that, that would be awesome, because I think like it is, and I get that people don't mean it in like a bad way, but I think like it is kind of dismissive of what she brings to the table, because she comes at her videos with this like super like personal, unique approach, and I think it kind of takes away from that when you say that like, oh, you're the X version of X, you know? I'm gonna link her stuff in the description below. She's super good, you should really check her out, and I can't wait to see what kind of stuff she makes in the future, so yeah. Komiski Projects asks, if you were to become one of the queens of the Let's Fight a Boss podcast, what would your first action be? This is obviously a hypothetical. Could have done without that last little bit at the end, Komoski. I think if I was to become queen of Let's Fight a Boss, the first thing I'd do would be Brian and Neve, they're gone. Like, they're off the podcast. Second, probably all wrestle talk all the time, and I think people would be super into that. I think that'd be a really successful podcast, so thank you for the question. The Boy asks, have you ever seen an anime that made you go, man, this is fucking shit? I don't have an answer to this question, I just thought the way he phrased it was really funny. Mr. Wolf, are you a furry? It's not a bad thing. No, I'm not. I understand where the confusion over this comes from. I do think wolves are really cool, so this is kind of my own fault, but no, I'm not a furry. Now, that said, if I was, I think I'd just own it like Sonic Fox does, because like, fuck it, you know, like life's just, it's too short to be, you know, super embarrassed about the things that make you happy. And I think like if someone, you know, if someone gets enjoyment out of wearing a fursuit, or like it helps them out in like with, you know, social anxiety or whatever, then yeah, dude, like you do you. So no, I'm not a furry, but if you are, more power to you, buddy. Rami Bop asks, do you ever feel nervous about making certain videos, or more specifically, do you ever feel nervous about not doing a video justice? And if so, what are you anxious about? Oh, only on like every video I've ever made. Like seriously, making videos is fucking hard and it's scary, and like I know, especially when you know that it's going out to like hundreds of thousands of people. And I would say every video I've ever made, I felt like terrified to hit upload, like genuinely kind of so nervous. I was horrified at the idea of putting that recent Simpsons videos out. I wasn't really happy with it. But you just have to trust that the work you do is good, and I put it out, and like, you know, people really seemed into it, which I was so fucking relieved about, you know what I mean? So yeah, like, I get nervous all the time. I wish I got less nervous. I don't know that I ever will at this point, but yeah. And now I'm gonna ask, what inspired you to make your videos? I don't believe you've ever stated the lead up and eventual drive to make your first video. Okay, I guess there's two sides to the story, and one is the whole saga with Eyepatch. And I'm not going to repeat that here because it's a story I really love to tell at panels and stuff, but there was actually like another side to it as well. And this like is a little bit sadder, I guess, but I was kind of like at a point in my life where like I didn't really have anything going on, you know. I was stuck in a job I really wasn't happy with. I felt like I had kind of just stalled, like every day just felt exactly the same. And I actually went on a trip to London to kind of like get my head straight, something I kind of do every now and then. I'll do like a bit of traveling by myself, and I remember sitting there in the hotel room, and it all kind of like really kind of came up at me, you know, like it all kind of hit me at once, and I started having like this kind of pretty strong panic attack, and I had no idea what it was. Like, I'd never had a panic attack before. I'd never like done anything, I'd never experienced anything like that. Like, I thought I was having a heart attack, you know, I thought I was gonna have to call the hospital. And after a while I started to realize, oh wait, I think this is actually like a panic attack. This is what people talk about when they're having a panic attack. And I remember like I was just sweating, and I was like, oh, just miserable. And one of the things I did to take my mind off it is I started just writing, you know, and I started writing this idea I've had for a YouTube video for like forever. And that video eventually turned into the Hunter x Hunter video, and would kind of be the first step I would take into like completely changing my life and everything about it. And so it's really weird to think back now, because like at the time I just felt like in such a dead end, and it's awesome that kind of things have worked out the way they are. I still struggle with anxiety, you know, I still struggle with that stuff a lot, and if you're someone who does it as well, I would just say like the stuff that helped me get out of it was like, you know, I got a good therapist that I really kind of felt like I connected with. I did a lot of exercise, a lot of meditation, all this kind of stuff, and that was the stuff that helped me. And also the Dan Reichert book, Anxiety is an Ally, super good video, so super good book. So yeah, if you know you suffer from something similarly, it totally can get better. It's a slow step-by-step process. So yeah, hope that didn't get too heavy, but yeah. Okay, I think that's gonna do it today. I really super hope you enjoyed this. I guess before I end, I did just want to say, like, you know, at the end of last year, if you watched that Hunter x Hunter video, I kind of made the decision to kind of step away from YouTube for a little bit, and like I had a lot of people asking me about that. And basically, I had just become like really overwhelmed with the workload, and I had gotten so burnt out. I think it was the Final Fantasy 15 video that year, like the big 50-minute video. I think I kind of destroyed myself making that, and I never really gave myself a chance to recover from it. And so by the end of the year, I was just like a wreck. And so I made the decision to kind of like slow down a bit this year and maybe put out less videos, but put a little more time into them. And I fully expected people to drop off, like, you know, both in the channel and the Patreon, and that never actually happened. The channel's still growing at like a really good rate. I really can't express how much I appreciate the support over on Patreon. And I guess I just want to say, like, you know, if you're still here after all this time and all the delays in between videos, I just want to say, like, thank you, because I think, you know, I do feel guilty a lot of the time for not making videos quicker or not putting out more content, and I know the wait is long sometimes, but just I really do appreciate you kind of sticking around and watching it. So yeah, I've got some stuff coming up that I'm really excited to make, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. And this has been fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, so just thank you. I'll see you next time.